Okay, I'll call this regular council meeting of 2013-12-10 to order, and a motion for...
What? Did he say something?
I don't know.
Oh.
The approval of the agenda. And what I'd like to do is ask council to consider a minute of reflection and sympathy for Nelson Mandela. And I think we are blessed by having lived in a time when a man of such great understanding what was in our presence. So if we could just have a moment of silence. Amen. It was interesting the role that Canada played. I'd forgotten about all that. I haven't been able to follow it in the news. But that was the first country he came to after he was released from prison.
Okay.
And Prime Minister Mulroney went up against Margaret Thatcher on apartheid.
Oh, yeah.
So some history there
Yeah.
that shows where Canada's been in the international world. Okay, so then approve the agenda with the following amendments. Water Street drawing under 4B, if council's ready to proceed. Letter from A. Shadrack and Merle to IHA 5C, and response from Dr. Halpenny to A. Shadrack and Merle 5B.
I'll move those amendments.
Moved by Councilor Hewitt, second by Councilor Leafwood. Discussion, all in favor, motion passes. And adoption of the minutes of 2013-11-26.
Move.
Moved by Councilor Leafwood, second by Councilor Holland. All in favor? Motion passes. Special council meeting of 2013-11-27.
Move.
Moved by Councilor Hewitt, second by Councilor Lang. Discussion, all in favor? Motion passes. And motion to receive the Council of the Whole meeting 2013-12-03.
Move.
Moved by Councilor Leafwood, second Councilor Lang. Discussion, all in favor? Motion passes. No delegations. Business arising from the minutes. Report from the administrator.
Okay, Public Works, as you know, have been fairly busy with snowfall over the first snowfall of the year. And they've been meeting with 9 Engineering and talking with them quite a bit with respect to the Kaslo River water intake project. And coming across some interesting things and some interesting gaps in knowledge that we may have to rectify in the next little while. Foreman Walker's currently arranging for some raw water sampling from the Council River to this project. We may also need to consider some spring turbidity testing at a later date as well as we move further on, depending on how the proposal goes. 2014 regular and special minutes. I'm just making a little note there that I'm moving to a very small change. You won't notice too much of a change because I'm going to start numbering your resolutions next year on the left-hand side of the minutes. Because I've been struggling a little bit with finding records going back. They are all there, but they're just not easy to find in the council view system. So I'm moving to an Excel-based system, which is a lot easier to navigate. And then, so start hopefully by numbering them and doing it in that way, it'll become a little easier from the staff end. EBA Consulting, we discussed that in camera. We submitted a report. Wildfire Interface Final Phase Project. I do have a number of proposals for both in response to the request for expressions of interest and to the RFP for the RPF. If you wish, you could schedule a special meeting of council on the 17th ahead of the 20th of the whole finance meeting to review those proposals.
Somebody like to make that motion? Moved by Councillor Lang, second by Councillor Hewitt. Discussion. All in favor? Motion passes.
I'll complete it with the link.
Christmas office hours. Following tradition, having looked at what tradition seems to be, I'm recommending the Village of Kaslo administration offices remain closed during the Christmas and New Year period for the following dates and times: December 24th from 12 p.m. to December 27th, 30th, and 31st.
Moved by Councillor Leaflet, second by Councillor Lang. Discussion. All in favor? Motion passes.
And also, in line with what's gone before, that $40 Christmas gratuities be provided to permanent full-time and part-time village staff.
Moved by Councillor Hewitt, second by Councillor Lang. Discussion. All in favor? Motion passes.
Other important dates: December 17th, Committee Bill Finance. The 2014 meeting schedule, of course, comes up later. And just a reminder that you had your quarterly personal interest reporting in January.
First or second meeting? Second?
I don't mind at all. What would the preference be there?
I think
Second.
Second, yeah.
Second.
Just right after all of this together.
So there's no resolution required for the special meeting, I guess, and that's done.
Yeah, you've done that. Yeah.
So we're on to correspondence.
No, you've got 4B, the Water Street revised drawing.
Oh, it isn't in here. Oh yeah,
it is.
yeah.
It's hyperlinked there for you.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you're ready to. This is from Hire's perspective and our own as staff. This is a sort of. This is still in draft form. If you wish it to be a draft still, and if you want longer to think about it again. However, we've discussed elements of it quite significantly. There are no major changes from your prior resolutions on this subject, except in one area. If I bring it up, I always get my street names still rusty in street names.
Fourth and water?
Yeah, the basically before the little bit before you make the turn. That hadn't been particularly strongly addressed in the previous iterations, and we walked it, Glenn and I, we looked at it and discussed it. And the feeling was, and also in talking with High and also reviewing the ICBC report, was that the safest, the most sensible thing to do was to have parallel parking only on one side of that street, reducing it basically to 3 to 4 parking spaces, having a wider sidewalk, but you still have, because you yellow line the other side where the liquor store is, you have a good wide stretch of road prior to larger vehicles turning into Water Street. It's not much of a sacrifice of parking spaces, really. You're only losing a couple parking spaces doing it that way. And that's really the only major change. So if you do like what you see there, our plan is to move forward with the previous resolutions you gave us and send this out to the downtown area for some final feedback. And we know that this is the plan for 2014 and subsequent years.
And so the pathway showing on there would be that rubberized compound.
That's coming up in the budget. Glenn finally had some hard numbers discussions with the proponents of that, and it would be, even with grants, it would be a drastically more expensive solution than just doing it with concrete. So he wasn't. Glenn's not particularly enthused. Plus, there are risks in terms of snow removal on it. It could be damaged if you're using metal blades. So I think he's keen to dissuade us. I defer to his judgment in that. with the correct application, it might elsewhere in the community it might work well, but maybe not in this instance.
And am I seeing angle parking there?
That's the version of angle parking that we previously supported.
Well, is council prepared to move ahead then, or?
I would move it. I would move acceptance of this plan.
And second.
Moved by Councillor Holland, second by Councillor Leafwood. Discussion. All in favor? Motion passes. Oop, shoot.
So do we need a subsequent resolution for you to proceed with what we?
No, because it was just this diagram that you wanted, that you needed before we did that. So no, I've got the motions for that.
So now we're ready for 5A.
I'll move to receive.
Moved by Councillor Holland is received. Second by Councillor Hewitt. Discussion. All in favor? Motion passes. And did everybody get a chance to read the letter from the ambulance paramedics and their requested resolution? I think Councillor Lang did a good job when he went down to UBCN and meeting with these people, and I think this is a worthwhile motion to pass and forward on to them. That's part of our sort of doctor recruitment efforts to know that there is other ways to provide 24/7 and create some permanent jobs in the community.
I'll move that.
Moved by Councillor Leafwood, second by Councillor Hewitt. Discussion. All in favor? Motion passes.
Put any notes besides C and D, because I'm not sure what we want to do.
I'll move to receive items C and D.
Second.
Second by Councillor Hewitt, moved by Councillor Holland, second by Councillor Hewitt. Discussion? All in favor? Motion passes. And communication circulation package.
All move for receipt.
Moved by Councillor Hewitt for receipt, second by Councillor Leafwood. Discussion? All in favor? Motion passes. Okay, so we're now on to committee and staff reports. Staff report. Resolutions requested.
Okay, this is your 2014 meeting schedule. So what I've provided you with is a proposed regular council meetings at 7 p.m. on one column, and your monthly committee of the whole regular meeting at 7 p.m. on the right-hand column, with the key local government conference dates also on that calendar for your information and for the public's information. Trying to work around them as best as possible, assuming someone might be going to one or more. So is with a resolution.
I was going to move to adopt the proposed schedule by the CAO, and thank you for sorting all this out. It's good.
Moved by Councillor Holland, second by Councillor Hewitt. Discussion? All in favor? Motion passes. Okay, staff report, annual.
Can I ask what about the finance ones? Do we just?
I could have put that in there as a column, but I thought that was maybe better to leave that as more fluid because it's not necessarily going to be all year.
Right.
I looked at other models before I did it this way, and it tended to be the two sets of most common. It doesn't mean that they're not happening.
Right.
So now we're on to staff report, annual appointments.
Okay. again, these are all your typical appointments there. Hopefully I've not omitted anything. I had to build this, again, this model a little bit from scratch. So basically you should work through the recommendations in the order that are there. They don't have names in all cases, given that there's uncertainty in some areas. So you will need to fill in the name and that certain locations or may opt to change things in certain places as well.
I'll move the first one. The position of deputy or acting mayor shall be served by the following council members during the following terms. Myself for December 2013 to February 2014, Councillor Holland March to May 2014, Councillor Lang from June to August 2014, and Councillor Leithwood from September to November 2014.
Seconder? Second by Councillor Leithwood. Discussion. All in favor? Motion passes. So we're on to Regional District of Central Kootenai.
When does the notice of motion enter into it?
This is it at this point. This is
And I don't have it in front of me, so
it's basically number one there with the name that you wanted in there.
okay. So I'll make a recommendation that Mayor Levy appointed represent the Village of Castle on the Regional District Central Kootenai Board of Directors for 2014.
So moved by Councillor Lang. Seconder? No seconder. Motion fails.
I move that Councillor Holland be appointed to represent the Village Council on the Regional District of Central Kootenai Board of Directors for 2014.
Seconder? Moved by Councillor, seconded by Councillor Hewitt. Discussion? Call the question. All in favor? Opposed? Recorded opposed? Motion passes.
That Mayor Levy appointed to serve as the Village of Castle alternate on the Regional District of Central Kootenai Board of Directors for 2014.
Moved by Councillor Hewitt, seconded by Councillor Leithwood. Discussion? Call the question. All in favor? Motion passes. Okay, we need an appointment for the West Kootenai Regional Hospital District Board.
I'd like to make a recommendation to Councillor Levy appointed, Mayor Levy appointed to represent the Village of Castle on the West Kootenai Regional Hospital District Board of Directors for 2014.
Seconder? Councillor Hewitt was just a little bit ahead of Councillor Leithwood. Discussion? Call the question. All in favor? Motion passes. That a member of council be appointed to serve as the Village of Council alternate on the West Kootenai Regional District Board for 2014. What's it?
Who was it last year?
Jim.
Oh, okay. That Councillor Holland be appointed to serve as the Village of Castle alternate on the West Kootenai Regional Hospital District Board of Directors for 2014.
Second by Councillor Leithwood. Discussion? Call the question. All in favor? Motion passes. Okay. Now we're on to select committee appointments.
Yeah, I'd like to move that the Sustainable Economic Development Select Committee of Council be reappointed with Mayor Lay, Councilors Hewitt, Holland, and Lang as members for a term to expire 30th of November 2014.
Second.
Moved by Councillor Holland, second by Councillor Leafwood. Discussion. I'd like to take my name off because I can attend any meetings anyhow. All in favor? Motion passes. That the Kaslo Area B Healthcare Select Committee of Council be appointed with a member of council as the village member with a member of council serving as an alternate. And we're just trying to put this in place depending on where the healthcare working group ends up here. It may become the mechanism by which we move ahead, it may not. And I would like to be that member to provide the continuity that we have to try and, because I really don't know where we're going with this thing.
I'll move that Mayor Lay be the member of council on the area, Council Area D Healthcare Select Committee.
I'll second it.
Discussion, all in favor? Motion passes.
And the alternate would be?
It was all in the same motion.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So what did we say? Was there an alternate for this?
Yes.
And who's the alternate? Well, I was going to suggest Councillor Lang in the sense that he opened up the door with these paramedics, and I think there's going to be some real serious discussions between the ambulance service. I mean, if you're prepared to do that. Sure.
Okay, I'll move that.
Moved by Councillor Leafwood, second by Councillor Hewitt. Discussion, all in favor? Passes. Okay, now. That Councillors Lang and Hewitt be reappointed to the Kaslo Recreation Select Committee.
Yeah, we did this one.
What's that? We missed one?
Yeah.
Which one?
Second one, vote the health committee.
Oh, right. The councilman is authorized to recommend, right. A refined final terms of reference to council and submit a complete list of proposed representatives for appointment by resolution in January 2014. Moved by Councilor Hewitt, second by Councilor Leafwood. Discussion. All in favor? Motion passes. Sorry about that. The Councillors Lang and Hewitt be reappointed to the Kaslo Recreation Select Committee.
Move.
Moved by Councilor Leafwood, second by Councilor Lang. Are you
Does
willing?
anybody else want to be on this committee?
When does it meet?
Twice.
How many?
Twice.
Twice. We meet twice.
Once spring, once
One in
fall.
spring and one in fall.
Yeah.
I'm just opening the door for anybody that might have an interest. Otherwise, I'll stay.
I guess it would be either yourself, Councillor Holland is another option. So,
You volunteered me for committee, Susan?
yeah, well, I'm just not wanting to exclude you.
Is that because I just went so small over here?
I'm fine to stay on the
I think
committee.
Councilor Lang has a better connection to the recreation group than I do.
I think there's some challenges coming up with the arena, quite frankly, so your experience there would be helpful.
Yeah, but we don't touch on that.
We don't,
You don't-
deal with that. That's Councilor Leafwood's valley whack.
And what now?
Oh,
So that's off topic.
anyhow. Call the question. All in favor? Motion
Okay.
passes. That membership to the Building Management Select Committee is affirmed as follows for a term to expire 30th November 2014. Mayor Lay, Councillor Lang, and Councillor Leafwood.
Can I just ask a
Yeah.
question before I do?
Yeah.
Are we gonna reappoint that committee or?
I don't think we have to reappoint.
Okay, so and I think that was just because you were using.
It was
the
Yeah.
appointed
template.
last year.
Yeah.
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 I think we've changed the way we do business. We do not need that committee anymore. It should be noted that some of the existing select committees are not currently meeting with any observable frequency nor providing any recommendations. Council may wish to discuss this before reappointing councilors.
Put that at the top, sorry.
Yeah, okay, that's. Other committees. Recommendation that Mayor Lay and Councillor Lang be reappointed to the Liquid Waste Management Planning Steering Committee for Stage 2 of the process in 2014. Moved by Councillor Leafwood. Second by Councillor Hewitt. Discussion. All in favor? Motion passes. Well, that's... How often do we meet on that one?
I haven't met for over a year, but maybe who knows?
Well, maybe,
Well, that's because the phase one was complete.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now we're going.
Now we're moving on, hopefully.
Yeah.
The report has been sent to the Ministry of Environment for their review and also to the First Nations identified for their comment.
Stay tuned. Could Councillor Hewitt and Holland be reappointed as the hiring committee for the village of Kaslo? Moved by Councillor Lang, seconded by Councillor Leithwood. Discussion. All in favor?
Is that required? Do we need that?
You don't need it if you're not hiring.
Yeah.
But if there was it would be identified if there was a labor related or personnel related vacancy that did come up. You would have the councillors identify.
Okay,
Possible.
Yeah, you never know.
Just never know.
okay.
Further discussion? All in favor? Motion passes. Other appointments. That the Chief Administrative Officer and Deputy Clerk be appointed as Chief Election Officer and Deputy Chief Election Officer respectively for the 2014 municipal elections. Moved by Councillor Hewitt, second by Councillor Leithwood. Discussion. All in favor? Motion passes. The following persons be appointed or affirmed as Village of Kaslo representatives of the following agencies or organizations. Emergency Social Services is currently vacant, and I don't know how we're going to fill that. Noreen usually identifies somebody to, although Ray was pretty active on that front too, but I really don't know. I think that just leave that with the committee to come back to council with an appointment.
What do you have to do for that? Because I'm actually going to, after the term's over. So what does council representative have to do on that?
Well, it just goes to the meetings. Or a council representative?
Isn't that what, this is Village of Council rep to those committees, to that committee?
So,
And it was a public member previously,
yeah,
correct?
it was a public
Oh,
member
okay.
previously, yeah.
But that doesn't mean it can't be a council member, does it? Or is there already council members sitting?
Well, I usually sit on that committee.
Oh, okay.
So what do you have to do? Like, I don't have to be.
Well, yeah, well, all it is, it meets with Noreen Clayton
Right.
and goes through whatever her agenda items are and advises of training programs. And the emergency social services is like when the Johnson's Landing thing happened.
Right.
They kicked into high gear there.
No, I know,
That
I'm just
person.
part of that, but
Yeah.
for a council's representative, that's not the person that gets, like, for instance, in the department of the Johnson's Landing, she's the one that got all the.
Yeah, that's right. That's right,
Is
yeah.
that what the council representative does?
Well, yeah, that was the social services part of that committee.
Okay.
So it's a little, it's a little fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they've changed the legislation for emergency management, so I would just leave that until the
Okay.
next meeting and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Kaslo Committee for Society, Erica Bird. And the Chamber of Commerce have corresponded that they would rather, have you got a copy of that letter?
We didn't bring that here. Hopefully I can find it here. Here we go. Variable request December 4th. Please accept this email as official notice that the Castle Area Chamber of Commerce requests no further appointment from Council to the Chamber Board. We would, however, like to suggest the following: that from time to time, based on need, the Chamber extends an invitation to the Village Council and/or the CEO to attend meetings concerning specific topics or issues that may mutually benefit from a direct cooperative effort. Recognising the importance of such working relationships, we would also encourage the Village and/or CEO to reciprocate in kind. I would just note that the wording of the appointment isn't to the Chamber Board, it's as a representative to the agency or organisation.
Yeah.
So the other boards that I sit on, it's in their bylaws that there's a village representative. Is there anything in the chamber that the village needs to be one?
Don't know.
No, that's
I guess I first, have a bit of a problem with the fact that we do give them money. And other boards that we sit that have an interest in the village, we have representatives. I would still like there to be a representative on the Chamber of Commerce from the village.
I have a comment. I think it would be highly unusual, a little bit of an anomaly for a community not to have representatives sitting on a chamber that's primary source of funds comes from the village. I don't know that we've ever appointed anybody to the board. I wasn't aware of that, but I do know that just having representation at their meetings, so that there's somebody at their meetings that speaks to the village perspective, or the perspective of the political side of the village, just as an ongoing contact. And I'd be surprised if they wouldn't want that.
Councillor Lang.
I'm just a little fuzzy on the how this works. It's only the board that meets monthly, correct? The chamber board, not the chamber membership.
Right. There's very few chamber membership meetings.
Right. Well, then we need to look at our bylaws and their bylaws, I guess, and see what's mandated. You can refer this to later.
Yeah. That would be a good thing to do. I mean, all I know is that that's the communication that was received, and I would suggest that a response requesting a copy of their policy.
Is that resolution? Or just direct staff?
You can
Just direct staff.
Okay.
Okay. Kootenai Lake Historical Society, Councillor Weasley. We don't have to move and second these things, do we?
no.
Yeah, okay.
No, you just take one down.
Council Area Regional Facilities Recreation and Park Service, vacant. There's one vacant, and Ken Butt goes till December 31st, 14th, and Susan Mulkey the 31st of this year.
We haven't heard anything to the contrary that she doesn't wish to continue.
I think the last time when her term was up, she asked to be reappointed,
Yeah.
but it might be a good
Could-
idea to ask her.
Yeah. Could staff request confirmation? Is there anybody else who wants to sit on this committee? It says vacant, so there's one more person on that commission from the village that could sit on that
Well,
committee.
but these were all public members.
Oh, they were all
Yes,
public members?
Yes.
Oh, boy. So who's the chair of that committee?
Yeah, it's my wife, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure, so I'm
Yes.
definitely not going to be sitting on that committee.
Could staff be directed to contact the chair concerning an appointment?
I can't remember who else was on there last year, whether that was
It was
Kathy.
Doug Key.
Oh,
The
Doug.
third one there,
Okay.
he expired.
Okay.
I believe that this was left done by staff because it was believed that Susan Mulkey would wish to continue.
Right.
Yeah. So could we request staff contact the chair to think about an appointment to fill the committee.
Could we go back to the Kaslo Area De-Emergency Preparedness Committee?
Emergency. Oh, yeah. Kaslo
So
Area De-Emergency Preparedness Committee.
Yeah, I've been attending those meetings for the last year. I can't remember seeing Councillor Lang or the mayor at the meetings. I would be prepared to, because I'm going to go ahead and continue to attend those meetings, whether you guys are there or not, that's okay. Just part of staying plugged into the regional district, shared activities between the regional district and Village of Kaslo. So that's an offer on the table if you want.
Well, Councillor Lang.
Well, Councillor Holland is absolutely correct. I have not made one of those meetings in the last year, and I would really like to get my name off that list.
Okay, so
Yeah.
substitute Councillor Lang, Councillor Holland,
Yeah.
is a willing body?
Yeah. I've been to every meeting where I didn't have a conflict on that meeting date. Okay, so, you got that?
Yep.
Kaslo Golf Club, Kaslo Golf Club, Councillor Lang, Kaslo and District Marine Association, Councillor Leithwood, Kaslo Housing Society, Linda Beddoe, but we should contact her, to reaffirm, because I don't know even if they're meeting. I haven't heard anything from these guys for quite a while. But she does a pretty good report when they do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that. Treaty Advisory Committee, Mayor Lay and alternate Councillor Holland. This is a tough one, this Treaty Advisory Committee, because these meetings are held over in Cranbrook, and the travel costs and issues about what can be discussed get very difficult, so I think it's something as the Tanaha get close to the final outcome of their negotiations to settle their lands. The challenge will be if the other First Nations challenge their decisions. So I wait for information, but I don't know how many. But have you had any communication from them at all lately? Or
No, since you got your last in camera item from the Treaty Advisory Group, that's still.
yeah, so it's still in play. But I think we should try and stay involved there. I get very nervous about saying anything, quite frankly, because and it's sort of like you need a legal opinion, but just to try and foster some type of more open dialogue to, like this thing we ran into with the boat launch ramp is an example of where we need to try and stay tuned in. And I don't know where the Cynic thing is going either. It's a very controversial issue. Okay.
So can I ask, would that be a type thing that we could use the video conferencing for in the future? Or did it have to go
Absolutely.
against
I think so. Yeah, because First Nations are, like Tanaha, are real big on that over there. In fact, I think they did not put the center on reserve land or something. Yeah, good suggestion. Okay. CBT broadband, Councillor Hewitt, and MIABC voting delegate and alternate Councillor Hewitt and Councillor Leithwood.
I'm not going to the UBC next year. 2014.
Do we need two people in?
Oh, only if the first one is unable to go to the event. Where did the event? It was an event. Yeah, it actually happened.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I actually have started to grow on me as I go on nuts.
Well, I tell you what's...
Seen it progress.
Yeah, it's
well,
a good
what-
desire.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping you would stay on that.
Yeah,
The trouble is it clashes with so many other things, but with
Can I move that Councillor Lang be the alternate?
Yeah.
be an alternate, yeah.
the alternate that has never had to act. So
But I can go if I
Yeah.
want.
you can go if you want, yeah, if you need it out.
I think what's critical here, though, is this insurance initiative. Like,
Yeah.
we have to get out from underneath these users. Ooh, we've got to be careful.
Yeah.
We have to get out from underneath, you know, the current regime, and MIABC's been very successful in the other things it's undertaken. And I think there's a lot of, UBCM in particular, are really hoping we can get something in there. Okay, respectfully submitted, so we're finished with that, right? Okay. Now we're on, what are we on?
That's the committee action items.
Co-committee action items. Okay, resolutions required.
You only had one there, and that was that the area Health Select Committee terms of reference be approved, subject to.
Changing the number of resident members to an odd number and the final approval of the advisory group. Moved by Councillor Leithwood, second by Councillor Hewitt. Discussion, all in favor? Motion passes. Now we're on to report from the administrator.
No, you're on the payment disagreement.
Okay.
This is something that Carol's been looking into to help the numerous number of Americans that live in the council pay their taxes a little bit easier. So this is a little bit of an experiment for the next little while to see if there's an uptake, and if it does meet with being something helpful. Other jurisdictions do use it.
I'll make that recommendation. That sounded like a good idea, because it has zero cost to the village, but it could be greatly beneficial to the taxpayers.
I'll move.
Second by
Or
Councillor.
second.
Discussion, all in favor? Motion passes. Now, we're on to bylaws. Well, what happened to this report from administration? That's done.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're on to bylaws. The village of Kaslo is open meeting and acts as follows. This bylaw may be suited for all purposes. The village Kaslo Waterworks Amendment bylaw number 1146 2013.
I'll move that we adopt bylaw 1146.
1146. Right, okay.
I'll second.
Discussion, all in favor? Motion passes.
I'll move to adopt bylaw 1147. The bylaw of the village of Castle to provide the licensing and control of dogs within the municipality.
I'll second.
Discussion, all in favor? And?
I'll move to adopt bylaw 1140, bylaw to amend bylaw enforcement ticket information.
Second.
By Councillor Leithwood, second by Councillor Hewitt. Discussion, all in favor? Motion passes. I think that's it.
I'll move the approval of the casual jamboree liquor license. Special occasion liquor license.
Second.
Now this community plan for a public circuit.
To adopt.
All in favor? Motion passes. We didn't get that motion from that lady.
No, I didn't receive it.
Okay, if everybody could read this, at the next council meeting, 26 communities have passed a motion in support. They have I went to this workshop actually, and I was quite impressed, and why I'm trying to champion this is that, you know, this would be a big help in our community, I think, and if you read all the material on it, they've got a lot of other supporters trying to integrate this into the public school system. And I think, I don't know whether this would go on a school district by school district basis. Would it have to be or
I think it would probably have to be district by district, just like it sounds.
Yeah. Anyway, I was quite impressed with the information they had and the efforts that they're taking to try to get a universal. $200 a month is still a lot of money, but try and find other daycare that's less than that. Give me a break.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get a hold of this lady. She was on the phone when I talked to her, or she was driving when I was talking to her. So, but she said they have drafted a resolution, so we'll be consistent with all the other municipalities. So we'll put that on for the next regular meeting. Then I'll get a hold of her again and find out. Maybe she misunderstood my email or something. Okay. And so we're now on accounts payable, correct?
I'll move that accounts payable in the amount of $63,972.64 be approved for payment.
Second by Councillor Lang. Discussion. All in favor? Motion passes. And what's this accounts payable November 26th? That I got down here.
Oh, that's the last one that hasn't been deleted off your system there.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm wondering if we hadn't passed that on November 26th or something.
So you did.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because Stephanie and I are actually a lot better.
Hey, we're getting good at it.
And a motion for adjournment.
Move.
Moved by Councillor Leafield. All in favor?